what I saw that presence demonstrated to me by the people in the meetings. And I started to come around to the idea that, well, if there isn't a God, whatever's causing these people to behave in this manner, I'll just call that God and accept that as God and work on it from that way so I can stop all the arguing, because the pain and suffering had become great enough to force a new belief to be accepted ultimately, I guess, to even go looking for a different new belief, so, in whatever quantity or severity. So I did that. Understood that. Here, I need to go back to this. Are you as lost as I am? My God had always been with me through faith, but it is my responsibility to have the willingness to accept his presence. That's right, the willingness. So the willingness to accept that maybe these people were doing something better than I could, that helped a great deal to reduce the pride and the ego a little bit, and to entertain a new thought that it's not weakness. I came from the military, and to surrender was out of the question pretty much in every circumstance. And it, for whatever reason, many of us developed this feeling of, I cannot admit weakness. I can handle this, that kind of thing. And, to whatever degree in the military, that is a necessary quality, I think. It's, sure, anyhow, I'm not here to talk so much about that, but the willingness to accept that maybe I'm wrong is kind of maybe the basis of this. So I'm fallible. I'm a human being. I am weak. I have weaknesses. I don't need to succumb, die, and surrender to my weaknesses, though. There's a way to use them, actually. Learn from them, at the very least. Well, maybe the greatest thing is to learn from your weaknesses, conquer them, and now you've moved like a liability over here to the asset column. This is something good in my life that I can rely upon. I feel as though I want to tell you everything all again, and so I'm not going to, because straying from the point. I'll say this again. I had a theory about how these books, or this book, works. I don't know if it's true or not, but maybe you can find out just by watching every day if I keep putting one of these out each day, or just simply by getting a copy of this book and reading it every day. There's 12 steps. There's 12 months in 1 year. Pretty typically, I think, it could just be a wild coincidence that each month corresponds to that number step. So it's an 8th month. This book talks about 8th step things, which says this. And here's that word willingness again, I think. Step 8 of the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous: made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. And after many years, I figured out the becoming willing thing was, at least for myself, the biggest part of that step. Until I could understand that in the way I understand it now, which whether or not you understand it in the way I understand it, It's like, okay, the willingness, that needs to change. I guess that's why I was saying this new belief system entered in and all the stuff. Step 8, became willing to, okay, and why did I bring that up? I forgot. Maybe this will help. That's half-calf coffee today. I got all freaked out yesterday, wired up, man. Oh, my theory about how this book works. In the 8th month, it talks about 8th step kind of things. And now another portion of my theory is that there's 4 weeks in a month. So if there's 30 days, or here, each week is 7 days long. The first 7 pages, the second 7 pages, the third 7 pages, and the last 7 pages, you know, going all the way from a month's beginning between August 1, which the title is Living It, and then the last day, which is August 31st, it calls this a unique program. Between Living It and a unique program, each week deals with how you do maintain, understand, and practice the 8th step. So in the 8th month, Living It, first day of the week, it's like an overview of how the step might work. And then on the 8th day, they start to talk about how you put that into action, I think, if I had better wording for this. And then, let's see, from 7 plus 7 on the 15th day, that's the beginning of the 3rd week. You might start seeing these results. And then on the last 7 days, the 24th through the 31st, I think, if that's correct, you are seeing these results, and this is why. It's like a summary kind of thing, at least in my inadequate theory here of how that book works. So anyways, man, 41 minutes. Thank you for coming by here again today. I'll get back with you later and maybe get these things tighter, more concise into a roughly 30-minute thing. But not today. So thank you. Keep up the good work and understand it is worth it. It really is. What's the thing? The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in war. Think about that. I'll get back with you later. Goodbye.